Welcome back to the ticket setup series. In today's session, we're going to focus in on data sources, which you're going to leverage inside of custom forms. Now, data sources allow for you to take a list from a ticket property. So example, maybe like category. And let's say you have 40 categories inside a ticket. But for a particular business process and for a particular form that you're presenting to the end users or agents, of those 40, there's only maybe 3 or 4 categories that are relevant to them selecting in that context. So there's lots of examples of this. Maybe for like a new ticket, there's only a certain set of categories you want to select, or for a new hire, you may only want to select certain categories for onboarding or offboarding. That's offboarding, that example, maybe a part-time or full-time. So data sources allow for you to take a list that we have in ticket for a property like categories and filter that down for a specific form. So what we'll do here is we'll show you what happens out of the box when you don't use data sources. We'll then add a data source to show you how easy it is to do. And then we will then show you the end result back on the end user side. So Adele here is a ticket virtual agent. She's going to go ahead and create a new ticket. I'm just going to use that off of the help menu. And when she gets the new ticket form, what you're going to see here is she has request title available to her to type in. She has category and she has priority. Now what you can see here for categories, this is a list of all of my categories. And there's a lot of categories that aren't relevant to an end user. So change management is a really good example. Maybe HR for some reason isn't available, shouldn't be available, or maybe onboarding shouldn't be available here. Things of that nature. So when an end user submits this ticket, they're seeing all the category structure we have. Same thing for priority here. This is all the priorities we have. And I would say that specifically for a new ticket, I probably only want them to select things like hardware, software, maybe printing, permissions, things like that. High-level categories that I can use to, when received, either know what type of categorization they think it is, and or maybe use automations to say, oh, if it's a software issue, go to my desktop team, versus a hardware issue, go to someone else, or HR issue, go to the HR team, things like that. So that's the end user experience without using a data source. Let's now go over to the admin side to configure a data source. So we'll come over to web.ticket.ai. I'm logged in here as Diego. He's an agent and an admin. So he'll go over to the settings area and he'll go over to templates. And you can put a data source on any form. I'm going to use that new ticket form just because that's the topical example here. So I'll click on that, and this will take me to the form area. And then in the top right-hand corner, well, center area of this top menu here, there's this option called data sources. So if I click on that, you'll see a new window pop out called data sources, and I can click on new data source here. Now for the name, you want to give it a very relevant name to the form, so that, because you're going to have probably multiple data sources and you'll see it eventually, but you'll have a list of them and you want to kind of know like, oh, this one's for new ticket, or this is for new hire, things like that. So I'll do new ticket and I'll say category. So I know that on this one, I'm creating a data source for the new ticket form and specifically targeting it on category. And then I'll choose the type here. So these are all of the ticket properties that have lists. So status, category, ticket type, priority, tag, team, group. You can filter down any of these lists that we have as ticket properties using data sources. I'm going to use category here. And what's going to happen here is it's going to load all of the categories that I currently have in ticket. So I'll just choose a few here: hardware, software, networking, printing, maybe permissions, and I'll click save here. Now, once my data source is saved, I'll go ahead and close that out, and I'll choose the element that I want to apply that data source to. So we're dynamically filtering that. So like if I go to priority, I'm not going to see a data source for priority because I don't have one. But on category, I do. So I'm going to do new ticket and category. And once I save this, every single time this form is loaded, that category structure will be selected. Now, one thing I want to highlight here is that, let's say future yourselves create a new category. Obviously, you didn't select that in this data source, so you'll have to come back into data sources, choose the data source, and then select the new data source element that you want to add to that form. I know it's kind of obvious. I just want to highlight that you'll have to do that as you add new things to these data sources. So I'll go ahead and click Save here to save that data source. And that's it. So we'll go back over to the end user side. And again, I'm using the new ticket form. You can do this on any form. This time I'll just type new ticket to bring it back. And this data source is respected everywhere. So I'm in Teams, but this will work in the web experience. If you turn on the email experience to submit a ticket with these forms, it would be here as well. But if I look at category now, you're going to see a much tighter, clean, crisp category list here. So again, the idea here is that, out of the box ticket properties have lists, and you can filter those down based upon the ticket properties added to the different forms. This is where this part of the setup session will end. Really hope you enjoyed it. And if you do have any questions, please email team@cyerson.com.